I do think this is a historic moment in the sense of it's the first time that the internet and Wall Street, they've had this healthy tension for a couple of years, even a couple of decades, and it's the first time Wall Street blinked.
Historical moments are unfolding as unprecedented sums of money are being invested in Bitcoin ETFs on their inaugural day of trading.
Listen, today is going to be chaos, right? Because you've got 13 sales forces trying to pull in money. You've got Grayscale, this giant that lots of people are going to be redeeming from. And so at the end of the day, at 2:30, when you put in your redemptions and your creates, there's going to be
The scene is a complete marvel as spot Bitcoin ETFs notch up a trading volume of $2.38 billion on their very first day.
Okay, now let's talk pricing. Price of Bitcoin.
Case is in the $600,000 range. Our bull case, and we think the probability of the bull case has increased with this SEC approval. This is a green light. Our bull case is $1.5 million by 2030. You can see the building blocks. You can see how conservative we are in terms.
Looking at the leaderboard among the 11 Bitcoin ETFs that have just hit the market, Grayscale takes the top spot with a trading volume surpassing $1 billion. Hot on its heels is BlackRock, securing second place with over $600 million, followed by players like Fidelity, ARK Invest, Bitwise, and Invesco.
What is going to ultimately make your fund distinct from Cathie Woods' fund, distinct from Grayscale, distinct from BlackRock, Fidelity? How should somebody who's watching this morning, who may say to themselves, you know what, maybe I want to buy one of these things, actually decide?
So I think in the long run, you're going to have two or three that actually win. I don't think it'll just be one winner, it'll be a couple winners. We have a ETF in Canada with CI Group, and we started second, we were second place, and now we're the largest ETF. And I looked last year at tracking error, because all you really care about as an investor is, does this thing track Bitcoin? We were less than 1% tracking error. Our largest competitor was 11%. And so all ETFs are not created equal. So what goes into that? It's your execution, it's your liquidity, it's the hidden fees, right? And so we think we've done this before. We've done it in Germany, we've done it in Canada, we've done it in Brazil. We know how to run a cash trade ETF.
So when people say something could go wrong, that's what you're talking about.
It's tracking error.
We are currently observing a competitive arena where various Bitcoin ETF providers are vying to market their ETFs to potential clients.
I imagine we're going to start seeing advertising, maybe on CNBC, maybe in the Wall Street Journal and other places, because all of these folks who have these ETFs are desperately going to need customers.
Yes. So listen, Invesco did a call in Asia with 90 salespeople last night. I imagine the other 13 ETF providers are doing the same thing. And so Bitcoin has always been about adoption, right? You sold Bitcoin, you haven't bought it, right? You had to convince people. We call it orange pilling.
As the winners emerge, an astonishing feat has been achieved within just the first hour of trading, excluding Grayscale, which already manages billions in funds. The combined effort of the 10 new spot Bitcoin ETFs has shattered previous records. They've outperformed BDO's record in Bitcoin futures, previously the record holder. Recent updates from Yahoo Finance indicate that these spot Bitcoin ETFs have reached a trading volume of $3.5 billion today. It's important to note this includes both purchases and sales. In a broader comparison with all ETFs, BDO and GBTC rank in the top 10 for trading volume today, with BlackRock and Fidelity's ETFs also breaking into the top 25. To put this in perspective, the trading volume for these 10 new ETFs directly translates to Bitcoin purchases today. However, for GBTC, it's likely that the volume represents sales.
You just said there's going to be a lot of people redeeming at Grayscale. Why do you say that?
Listen, people bought Grayscale at a 30%, 40%, 50% discount to NAV, and with Bitcoin far lower. And so the chance to now get out at par, they're going to do that.
There's also an ongoing battle over fees among these ETFs, each trying to offer the lowest.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fee war.
And that's what I mean. Is it going to be profitable for anybody? There's a huge amount of demand that's built up, but there's also a huge amount of players who want to meet that demand?
So if you look, Grayscale was at 2%, they dropped to 1.5%, right? And people are like, why didn't they drop all the way down to 0.2%?
Right,
Well, a big thing is, if you want to go sell your Grayscale and try to roll somewhere else, you're going to have to pay taxes, unless you're in a tax advantage account. So there's a lot of assets that are going to stay in Grayscale, right? And those guys will never get enough credit for pushing this issue and really kind of helping push it forward. But I think that what you see is Grayscale saying, hey, we already have a lot of assets. Let's hold on to what we have. And everyone else saying, well, we want all the new assets that are going to come in, so we got to go compete in the fee war. And so 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, how much does it really matter? Some advisors really care. Other advisors say, hey, I just want to buy something that's a great product that I think is going to track the price correctly. But what I think is going to ultimately end up occurring is there's going to be tens of billions of dollars that are going to flow into these ETFs. And you have a finite asset, so it will go up.
Regarding price predictions, there's an expectation of long-term growth. But what about the short term, especially on the listing day? Is it time to sell?
What I think you're missing is this is a limited supply asset. We don't have a lot of limited supply assets. And there are a lot of people that believe in this like a religion, so they're not selling.
That's right.
And so
70% won't sell. So where's it come from?
And so you're going to drive price up as you get more adoption.
Short term, do you say to yourself, there's a whole bunch of people who've bought in the last 3-4 months waiting for this day to come? Do they sell into this?
Yeah,
do they hold?
I think today we could literally see 50,000 and 40,000 trade. We're going to see a lot of volatility today. Traditionally, ETFs mark the high, the short-term high, right? Almost every one of them has come out. Then there's a sell-off, and then there's the rally.
Hence, we anticipate significant fluctuations in prices, both upward and downward, in the initial weeks.
I'll never sell, but I look at it, I'm thinking, wow, it'd be nice to get, 46 is not a bad number.
There's a lot of people who sold Amazon over the years, right, and many other great investments, but I think
we don't know it's an Amazon.
well, it's been better than.
But it's important to realize that the situation isn't entirely rosy. Vanguard, apparently from their customer service team, won't offer any Bitcoin ETFs, effectively preventing their clients from purchasing Bitcoin. An attempt to buy Fidelity's ETF resulted in a trade cannot be completed message, a stance seemingly affirmed by Vanguard itself. As the second largest asset manager globally, Vanguard is barring its clients from investing in spot Bitcoin ETFs. Their spokesperson claimed that such products do not align with Vanguard's investment strategy, citing the high volatility as contradictory to their aim of securing positive real returns over time for investors. Yet, upon investigating, it's noticeable that Vanguard is among the top 10 shareholders in MicroStrategy and holds investments in Bitcoin mining stocks. Vanguard has previously allowed purchases of GBTC, but now restricts clients to selling only. Interestingly, they still permit trades in BDO, the less favored futures ETF option, raising questions about their stance. Additionally, Coinbase faces a challenge to adjust, as purchasing a Bitcoin ETF has become more cost-effective than buying actual Bitcoin on their platform.
So Coinbase may have to drop their fees because it may be more inexpensive to hold the Bitcoin ETF for a year than to make one simple trade on Coinbase. So obviously there's pressure there.
This will be all for now. We will be bringing you more updates on the Bitcoin ETF's performance each day, so make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell to always be the first here to hear the latest news. See you soon.